Hey guys, what's up? It's Earthbound Down 12 here, and welcome to part 6 of Donkey Kong Country, or 7, sorry, of Donkey Kong Country. In this episode, we're going to be taking on the final world, Chimp Caverns. Isn't that just great? Well, anyway, we are going to start things off with for the fourth time in a row, and probably the streak breaker, because the next level is the final boss, which doesn't have this, and we're going to have a bonus room. Basically, what you're going to want to do is just fall off the conveyor belt thingy to not... Well, you won't die, you will get a bonus, so I guess that's always a welcome change from death. Anyway, the main gimmick of this level is that you're on a conveyor belt and there's a whole bunch of fuel canisters which you will need to collect to make sure your conveyor belt thing has sufficient petrol to make it to the end. Because, you know, if you've ever tried driving, you know, you will need petrol, otherwise you will be stuck in the middle of the highway with nowhere to go, and people honking their cars and laughing at you, I suppose. It's never actually happened to me, but I think that would be something that would be pretty sucky, I guess. Well, anyway, another thing I want to point out, which I thought I promised I'd stop saying that so excessively, but oh well, beggars can't be choosers, is that the Kremlings are pretty bad with fuel efficiency. I suppose they're the ones that made this little level thing to have us killed so we don't get our bananas back or something, but in this day and age, you can't have something this inefficient with petrol. Maybe that's just me, I just don't like things that are inefficient with petrol. I'd like to get the most out of my money, which is also the same reason why I'm using a really shitty microphone, but that is beside the point. And now we're getting some zingers and all that into the mix, and as you can see, the number of lights that the fuel cans will, canister is even the correct word, I don't care. Well, anyway, they're decreasing, it's 3, and very shortly you'll see them go down to 1. Well, there was another big jump thing there, and this bit's a bit tricky. You can choose between either an end and possible death, or a more safe bet, and you'd be more likely to get some more petrol, or fuel, or gas, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And this bit is rather tricky, if I remember correctly. And I made it over there quite easily, unfortunately not so well with the B thing, with the 5 fuel cans, which is pretty highly advisable that I get. Anyway, on my second try I get that back, so we're gonna continue on this bit. Duck that B, just don't get back up when it's too late. And when you have one Kong left, you're probably gonna want to be more careful. You can get a G if you keep riding the fuel cans, but I prefer just to take the shortcut, end the level a little bit quicker, and end it a little bit more safely, because there's no real extra bonus special stuff from actually sitting there from doing that, unless you want Kong letters and need lives or something, whatever. Anyway, Manic Minces, the level with the spiky tire things that nobody likes. And I'm probably gonna get some comment at some stage, probably not, because no one ever watches my shit, which is unimportant, saying, I like the spike tires, EVD. Well, isn't that just great? I understand that. I don't like them, that's my point. And Rambi was back there, I don't really know. I find the most redundant places to put Rambi. Rambi has no purpose being in Manic Mince's. Reason being because he sucks ass. Well, I'm gonna try not to be too inappropriate with my speech here. This is a children's show, or not really. It's family broadcasting, whatever. Jump these spike tire things, they move back and forth, they can be a bit obnoxious. Nothing worse than the ones in Poison Pond that, if you're a noob, which by now you should be skilled enough to be able to handle these things quite easily. This is your first time playing, and just be very careful here. This is actually the site of the next bonus, but I'm going to show you a really cool little glitch thing that you can get unlimited life things from. When you see the crushed clump, or whatever the hell you want to call it, sort of start heading backwards, walk into it, and then start turning right. As you can see, the thing, if you're Diddy Kong, it won't actually kill the thing, it will just force you to knock back, and as a result, the combo thing will allow you to get some lives. Hopefully I can get, yeah. you just throw the barrel at the thing with the bonus thing, but as you know, with the combo jumps, bring 1-ups, it takes about, I think it's like 7 jumps for a 1-up, I don't know. Feel free to answer that. My question or query or lack of knowledge or laziness on my part, and you can just continuously stack those lives up until you get X amount of lives. I don't really need the 99 lives per se, but it's always a nice thing to have. Who knows when things go bad in platformers, you know? I've had some very, very bad runs, not just this game, just a lot of platformers in general. So just watch this rotating tire. Probably a better idea to be DK at this point, just so you can take care of those things a lot more quicker. Precise platforming there. 1, 2, 3 dead squirrel beaver things. I can't remember what they're called. Naughties, I think. And next bonus area. That one's just weird. Don't know if that's actually a bonus room. I don't know if they count it. I don't know, whatever. And that's gonna mess my checklist thingy up as well. And I screwed up this bonus level because you need to get that whole thing to get the bonus thing. But if it is a bonus, it's just strange having this one just so obvious this late in the game, because a lot of the other ones are just so unobvious, I suppose. And let's try and do this without failing this time. I think I do. This is post-recorded. I don't know why I'm carrying on like it's live recording. Probably because I don't really remember what happened when I recorded at all. And here's a chance for a pointless 1-up. I think what happens when you get to 99 is I think it just counts as infinity. I would seriously laugh if Ray just tried to pull a dick move on us and just said, "Nope, you're going back to 0. You die. Game over. Thank you and good night." That would be quite funny, but that would piss a lot of people off. But considering Rare at the time were known for some pretty bad platformers, it wouldn't shock me one bit. Thank you very much, Battletoads. You have made my life so complete. But anyway, this is the next level, and the main gimmick here is it's a big monster horde thing. So I highly advise you try to take out the barrels, just simply because it will stop the enemies coming at you, and your time here will be a lot less painful than it really should be. Because I don't like this level very much, because, I don't know, I just die to the stupidest things when you're doing monster hordes. I think I do it a couple of times here in this level, but I can't remember the recording, so whatever. That one's always a bit of a pain in the ass. Get another life, which doesn't mean squat. And, oh my god, it's a phone call. I'll be right back. Yeah, sorry about that. Just had a little bit of a phone call problem, which is quite annoying. And that bothers me. This is like my 5th take recording this. Yeah, go down the bottom thing just before I start carrying on about phone calls and my recording's being ruined by a lot of various things. Go down the bottom thing of the rope to get the bonus, and you're going to need to get the bonus here as well. I think I've stuffed up. No, I haven't. Well, anyway, seeing as I got a bit of time, well, actually, no, I don't have time to record this thing because jump over here. Yeah, I stuffed this up. So anyway, phone calls. I do not like phone calls one bit. Well, what am I on about? I'm just carrying on about nothing. Sorry, brain fart. Yeah, this is actually my 5th recording of this thing. Just various things have stopped me from recording this thing. Like Camtasia crashed, Audacity crashed once. I think the dogs were barking a whole bunch of times. I don't really care too much. I don't think it's going to be that much ruined that I have to stop the recording and start over in its entirety. So I'm just going to keep going and just hope for the best. If I get another phone call, I will be pretty ticked off. I probably won't answer it, so anyway, just watch these. Those armies can be a bit of a pest. Kill the snakes. And just come down here, and I think that's just pretty much it for the level. In all honesty, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Get Funky's flights relatively thingy. Well, if you need to go back, because you don't actually get the save point until just before the boss in this one. and Loopy Lights. This is a crossbreed between Stop and Go Station and the one in World 4 with Squawks the Parrot. So basically you just turn the lights on to be able to see. You don't need to do it, but it's highly advisable because if you have a bad memory like me, you're probably going to be dying quite a fair bit. And I hate these moving platforms. They always just kill me for some reason. It's just so annoying. And just come across here. Also, you'll notice those claptrap things, like the one here. They'll jump when you jump, and they pretty much try to kill you and make your life as miserable as possible. So it's just really not that bad. I think those bananas are illuminated, so we can easily see the barrel or where we're jumping to. So just follow the bananas if you're stuffing up. There's an O there. I don't really need the O, because I have 99 lives. I've got to stop bragging about that because the 99 lives were ill-gotten in the first place. And I remember this bit being bad. Well, this place isn't too hard, I suppose. But anyway, something I want to mention about World 6. Yeah, I stupidly died there. Ignore that. Yeah, but another thing I want to mention about World 6 is that the levels are pretty uninteresting to me, at least. I don't really particularly like the level design in World 6. I sort of iterated on this, or spoken about this last episode, and that is quite obnoxious. But last episode, as I said, what you're going to want to do with that glass barrel thing, there's a whole bunch of things. I cut that out accidentally. You got to make a bit of a leap of faith jump. And let's try not to get distracted while I whinge about World 6. I said last episode that World 6 was pretty bad. Like, all the later levels were pretty poorly designed, I thought. And they're not as good as, like, the earlier ones. Like, World 1 of Donkey Kong Country is iconic. I mean, this game's a classic, but I think Rare sort of dropped the ball a little bit on this in the end. Something you don't really see so much of in 2, and that's probably why I think, like, 2 was the better game, because I think it was, like, designed a lot better. I guess it was just the designers learning from their shortcomings, Miyamoto being unhappy with the game. As I've already stated as well, Miyamoto actually was not very happy with the whole aspect of graphics being the most important things in video games. I don't think he'll be very happy, and Random Kaiser Trap, I don't think he'd be very happy at all with the way that the current video games are going. I mean, you know, it's all Call of Duty this, FPS that, let's play the same game over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So he went out and made Yoshis Island, which is just as good a game, if not better, but a lot harder. So, I mean, just remember, kids, graphics, while good, does not make or break a video game. I've played some games with some amazing graphics, but the gameplay is terrible. But anyway, that last bonus area I just did there, because I was sort of ranting too much. That last bonus area was... How the hell are you supposed to find that last bonus area at all? I mean, there's no trace of it, just random leap of faith or something, I don't know. I don't understand the logic of Rare sometimes. I think everybody in all the Rare game designers of the early 90s were all just smoking pot, or they didn't like anyone, they just wanted to take their revenge out in the world with stupidly hard video games, such as Battletoads and Double Dragons, Battletoads and Battle Maniacs. Now I gotta stop referencing Battletoads so much, because if I keep doing that, I suppose people are gonna want to watch me do an LP of that, which I don't want to do at this particular time. Sorry to disappoint anyone who actually does want to see a Battletoads Let's Play from me. Probably asking in the wrong place to do it. And I always love this checkpoint thing. If you hit the checkpoint right, excuse me, if you hit the checkpoint right, you can always kill the bee with the checkpoint, which is just hilarious to me. It's like death by checkpoint. Rah. Well, Platform Peril's hardest level in the game, in my opinion. Even though I've said that pretty much about every single level in this game, as it does get progressively harder. There's a lot of stupidly hard jumps. you gotta make sure, like you see here, make sure you actually hit the enemies, otherwise you're dead. And if you're playing as Diddy, it's probably better if you DK for that jump there. Make sure the Kremling is appropriately positioned so you can actually finish the jump and not get knocked into the pit of death. And these enemies, things, those grey critter clump things, are actually new enemies, which is sort of strange because it's the last regular level in the game. And you're seeing new enemies, even though the enemies are pretty, miss the type, pretty tough. And they can make your life pretty miserable. They can only be killed by the barrel. Like, nothing can kill them except for barrels or other inanimate objects. I don't think invincibility exists. I suppose if there's no such thing as animal buddies in this level, but Rambi might be able to kill them. I think that was the intended purpose of Rambi, to kill things. And the last regular platform jump in the game. Come down here to the last bonus barrel in the game, which is a swordfish token, which I don't even need because these will be redundant as of now. We've ended the platforming component of this game, and pretty much all that is left now are 2 bosses. And these 2 bosses are fairly difficult. I'll take on the final boss, King K. Rool, next time, just because I want to keep this video. That's another thing. Sorry about the excessive editing. I just want to keep the video condensed down a fair bit. Because I understand you guys have lives and probably have better things to do than watch my videos anyway. If you don't, I feel rather sorry for you, but thanks for checking my stuff out. I got a sore throat. Necky's Revenge, the final regular boss thing here. And I get hit, unfortunately. But if you remember the second level boss, Necky thing, it's just a harder version of that. Except it'll spit out the coconuts, or depending on how many times you've hit it. So in this case, I've hit it 3 times, it will spit out 3 nuts. And make sure you jump on it after it's done its little nut shot, otherwise your hit won't count for anything. I make this boss battle out to be a lot easier than it looks, because it is quite hard. Well, I make it look easier than it's supposed to be. It's harder than it looks, so keep that in mind, because first time I fought that boss, I had a lot of trouble doing that. Well, anyway, next time we're gonna finish this game off and get our bananas back and kill King K. Rool and end this thing off happily. Let's just see. Yeah, I was just checking here what makes the 101% up. I think that is in fact the King K. Rool boss. Well, anyway, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.